140 law enforcement officers were injured, some were killed. And what did Donald Trump say last night about January 6th? He called it a, quote, a day of love. But it points out something that everyone here knows. The American people are exhausted with his gaslighting. Exhausted with his gaslighting. Enough! We are ready to turn the page. Turn the page. We're done. And Wisconsin, and we're not going back because this election back because we know that this election is about two very different visions for our nation. One that is focused on the past, and ours that is focused on the future. Represented by everyone here, and especially the students who are here right now. Yeah, you guys. Yeah. It's about you guys. It really is. It really is. And we know that America is ready for a new way forward. For a new and optimistic generation of leadership. Which is why Democrats and independents and Republicans are supporting our campaign. In fact, just yesterday, I was with over 100 Republican leaders from across the country who joined me on the campaign trail. It was about putting country before party, and some of them served in Donald Trump's previous administration. The people who know him best, okay? And I believe, and I think we all know, Americans want a president who works for all the American people. The story of my entire career. In my career, I've only ever had one client, the people. When I was a young courtroom prosecutor, I stood up for women and children against predators. As Attorney General of California, I took on the big banks, fought to deliver $20 billion for middle-class families who faced foreclosure. I stood up for veterans and students being scammed by for-profit colleges. Who are being cheated out of the wages they were due, stood up for seniors facing elder abuse. And I promise as president, I will always fight for all the American people. And together, we can and we will build a future, a brighter future for our nation. That's why we're all here together. We love our country. Together, we will build in that future what I call an opportunity economy, which is where every American has an opportunity to own a home, to start a business, to build wealth. Under my plan, and I know this is a big deal for the young people here, we will bring down the cost of housing. Because there was a time that generation generations of Americans could count on the American dream, but for far too many these days, it is just out of reach. So we will deal with the housing supply, and I will commit to creating a $25,000 down payment assistance so you can, for the first-time home buyers, just get your foot in the door. We will help entrepreneurs and small businesses to begin and grow, because we know small businesses are part of America's backbone in terms of the strength of our economy. You know, the woman who helped raise my sister and me was a small business owner. I know. Do we have small business owners who are here? Raise your hand. Yeah. You are not only business leaders, you are civic leaders, you are community leaders, and you really are part of the backbone of America's economy, and we've got to invest in you and make your jobs easier. My plan will help expand Medicare to cover home health care for seniors. This is personal for me. So part of you may know, some of you may know that when my mother was sick, I took care of her. And for anybody who is taking care of an elder parent when they are in their time of need, the work, it includes trying to cook something that they feel like eating, right? Helping them put on a sweater, trying to make them just laugh from time to time, right? It's about dignity. It's about dignity. But for far too many people, including people in the sandwich generation who are raising young children and taking care of a parent, oh, it's so rough. And so my plan is this. It's to say, instead of how it currently is, which is in order for you to be able to get help to come in, you're going to have to pretty much get rid of all your savings to qualify for Medicaid. What I'm saying is, no, this is a matter of dignity, and it is a matter of your ability to participate in the workforce and be productive and have a quality of life. So we're going to change the system so Medicare will cover your ability to have home health care for your elder parents. Between the way we see our country and the world and the way my opponent sees it is we actually see real people and care about them and have a sense of understanding about how tough times can be, but how good times can be if we put the work into solving problems instead of trying to run on problems like Donald Trump. And so that's why we will also lower costs on everything from health care to groceries, including taking on corporate price gouging, which I've done before and I will do again. And we will give a middle-class tax cut to 100 million Americans, including $6,000 for young parents, parents who are just starting out during the first year of their child's life, knowing the vast majority of our parents have a natural desire to parent their children well, but not always the resources to do it. And so this is about helping folks out to be able to buy a car seat and a crib just during that most critical phase of their child's development. This is all about dignity. And this is about understanding. And so I share this to say I will always put the middle class and working families first. It's where I come from, and I will never forget where I come from. I will never forget where I come from. Now, Donald Trump has a different plan. I love you back, by the way. Thank you. Donald Trump has a different plan. So just Google Project 2025. Now we're at a place of higher learning, so I must say, I can't believe they put that thing in writing. I really can't. They put it in writing, they bound it, like they bound it and handed it out. So look, we read it, right? It's a detailed and dangerous blueprint for what he will do if he is elected president. You know, I said many times, you've heard me say, Donald Trump is an unserious man, and the consequences of him ever getting his foot back in the Oval Office are brutally serious. Brutally serious. So Donald Trump, right? That's why we're here together, and we're here because we know we got work to do still. Donald Trump will give billionaires and corporations massive tax cuts. He will cut Social Security and Medicare. He will get rid of the $35 cap on insulin for seniors. He will make it easier for companies to, check this out, he will make it easier for companies to deny overtime pay for workers, and will impose what I have named a Trump sales tax, because essentially he plans on putting a 20% tax, if not higher, on everyday basic necessities, which economists have estimated will cost the average American $4,000 more a year. And on top of all of this, Donald Trump intends to end the Affordable Care Act. And he has no plan to replace it. You guys watch the debate. He has, quote, concepts of a plan. Concepts. So here's the thing. Again, it's a serious issue, right? So he's going to threaten the health insurance coverage of 45 million people in America based on a concept. Taking us back to when insurance companies had the power to deny people with pre-existing conditions. You remember what that was? Well, we are not going back. We are not going back. We are not going back. We're not going back. We're not going back. And just like Wisconsin's state motto tells us, we will move forward. We will move forward. Because ours is a fight for the future, and it is a fight for freedom. For freedom. Like the fundamental freedom of a woman to make decisions about her own body